Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jess from BehatiLife. Thank you so much for tuning in. I can't find my incense stick holder, so I've got to stick it in a plant. Don't act like you've never done this before. What we're going to do today is we're going to be talking about our Astro and intuitive forecast for the week of June 4th, 2018. Now, I couldn't go into a video like I wanted to and like I planned last week because, and you guys saw this, when I was filming the live chat, Franklin had some random attack on his body, and then I had to take him to the emergency room. Now, for those of you guys who are old friends to the channel, you know that Franklin's been having like health issues when it comes to like vaccinations and stuff like that. And I wasn't expecting him to have as many problems as he has, but I guess he had an attack during that moment during live chat, and I couldn't film for that week. That being said, this week is going to be a double whammy of information, simply because some of the most important aspects that have happened last week that I wanted to talk about were actually happening towards the end of that week. So they really truly apply to this week now in this moment. And I want you guys to hear it. I want you guys to feel it. I don't know about you, but last weekend and last week, there were some really stunning moments in my life that made me feel good, and things that I just felt like I deserved for a long time that I just started seeing kind of like fall into place, or things that would happen that made me feel really good. And that's what I started off by saying last week when I was doing the live chat. When I started the live chat, I said, you know what? It's what it is that we've been going through, no matter what obstacle it is, it almost seems like there's a huge shift last week that it would start, and we would start to feel the impact, and things would be starting to change for the better. Even as I was saying it, I want to be honest with you, even as I was saying it, a part of me still had my doubt, because I'm human, just like you. But even after years of studying the astrology charts and working with my intuition and knowing, you know, when a message comes through, the last thing we want to do is doubt it. But sometimes, you know, if you're going through some stuff, or if you're feeling like you've been tested for an extended amount of time, when you start to see like a break in the clouds, you're like, no, there's going to be another storm that comes through. And so as I was saying it in the live chat with you guys before Franklin had his little episode, I was doubting it, but I was still saying it. And interestingly enough, that week ended up being stunning. It ended up being really magical. And it's putting me in a positive place now, where I'm just like, okay, you know, I could see things turning around. I could see things kind of lightening up, which makes me very happy. So I hope that you were able to feel the same thing. Keep in mind that, you know, these transits, when they come through, that they don't always promise positive all the time. Sometimes it can usher in, you know, laziness or sluggishness, or just other type of situations, you know, because when you look at squares within the chart, and I promise I'll dive into your reading for the week ahead, but when you look at charts in astrology, the challenging aspects create a shift within you that forces you to kind of act. And when you have a trine within the chart, like we had last week and like we have this week, it can make people miss opportunities. But if I'm being honest with you, I feel like so many of us have been pushing and striving, and trying to make things work, trying to make a difference, trying to make an impact, trying to watch things kind of unfold. And sometimes it's good to just kind of sit back and allow the universe to do what it is that it's going to do, and just bless you. Let the universe bless you. So that's what it is that I see. The reason why this is because Venus is moving through the sign of Cancer. That's a highly fertile sign. And she's going to be trine Neptune, trine Jupiter. Jupiter and Neptune are trine each other. So we have this beautiful trine in the sky. And Venus works with our relationships. Venus works with beauty and money and love and luxury. And Jupiter represents and rules expansion. It rules growth. It rules taking things to the next level, like building them up and building them out. And then we have Neptune, the planet of illusion and fantasy, just kind of creating this like pink glasses, these rose-colored glasses that we wear this week. It almost seems like what we don't think can happen, or what we think is impossible, it makes it possible. This is, you know, the time when people are meeting their soulmates. This is when people are falling in love with others and also themselves, because the universe is so positively creating this ethereal touch that makes like unicorns real. It makes what it is that you're looking for, it makes it possible. It brings it into your vision. You can see it. And if you can't see it because it's not physically there, then you can feel it, And I don't know about you, but even myself, I was just small things. I was washing my face one day. I love skincare, and I was washing my face, and when I had my eyes closed, I had this clear vision of something that was coming into my life that was pure like fantasy for me, and I say fantasy because I felt like, is this real? Can this happen? This is beautiful, this vision that I saw, and it was so vivid. And the more that I asked, the more I was like, is this real? Is this real? Is this real? The more that I asked it, the more it got clearer and clearer and clearer. And I said, okay, I'm okay. I welcome that in. I'm ready. And just having those little bits of confirmation is everything. It's a game changer. It switches up your energy. It switches up my energy. It makes things feel good. You deserve that. You deserve to feel good. You deserve to have fantasy sometimes. You deserve to have a dream come to fruition. We don't even realize sometimes how good it can get until you're in a space where you're actually receiving it and you're blissed out, just completely in a state of utter bliss. And that's what it is that I see within this chart. Now, if you're in a space right now where, you're still kind of struggling, because I'm looking at this chart in a general for everyone. This is a general reading. I'm not obviously looking at your chart one-on-one, because I'm not looking at your chart. I'm looking at what's going on in the cosmos. So some people are feeling the lingering effects of what it is that we just walked out of, and what it is that we're just walking out of. And that's not to say that you're not going to feel this blissful moment, but what you want to do is, if you're still getting slammed by the cosmos, if you're still feeling tension, if you're still feeling negativity around you, or if you still need healing, what I want you to do this week, as a direct reflection of what has happened this past weekend, is to take some time to visualize and what I see and what I envision and what comes to me is, I see people sitting in ocean water. I see the need for like a detox. Some people, it's like a baptism. Sometimes that means a physical baptism within a church. Others, it's a baptism within a lake, a baptism within an ocean, a baptism within your bathtub. We're using detox waters like Epsom salts. I have bath salts within my own, charged bath salts within my own apothecary that people use for their own baptism. And really what they're doing and what you're doing is you're recharging. There's water and salt together are so healing. Water is so healing. Tears are healing, sweat is healing, swimming is healing, ocean water is healing. All of it is detoxing. And what I see is, if you're going through something right now, this is the week, at the beginning of the week, to detox and to baptize yourself and birth yourself anew. And when you do that, if you need to cry, if you need to purge, if you need to release, get it out. And cry your tears into the bathwater, cry your tears into the lake or into the ocean, and float and just release it and let it go. And really what this is going to do is it's going to reset your energy, and it's going to open you up to receive new blessings. Then after the baptism, after this water bath, after this water soak, and I feel like some of you guys have already intuitively and instinctively done this for yourself. And you're just like, Jess, I've already done this. I feel like I'm going to get comments from people being like, oh my God, I did this already. I didn't even know that I was doing this. And now here you are talking about it, because my tribe and I are so connected. But what I see is, after that, I see you sitting down, and normally it's a sacred space like an altar. And for me, I have my altar. I am planning on doing an altar video so you guys can see. If you want to see a video of my altar space, then go ahead and give me the thumbs up. But I almost see you guys getting out into the elements. I almost see you getting out into the ocean, into the sunshine, next to a lake, next to a river, next to a body of water. There's just emphasis on water. And what I see is you feeling the sunshine, feeling the elements, and taking some time to really, again, reconnect with what it is that your heart truly wants. And and to write it down. Even though this isn't a new moon, the new moon isn't until next week, I still see this emphasis on healing and releasing and emotion, the importance of emotion and sensitivity and being receptive. And I see this week being a huge game changer. And what I want you guys to do is to capitalize on this. Me, myself, I'm going to be making, you know, a new batch of the Love Spell oils. I'm revamping BehatiLife in the way that it's the ultimate vision of what it is that I wanted. There were some obstacles that were happening for me, just like as a business, the business side of, you know, like working on shipments and stuff like that. But there's certain areas that the magic of BehatiLife, I want to give that my time and my attention and to visualize it all over again and then to create that vision and manifest it. So that's what essentially I'm going to be doing, and also some aspects in my personal life that I'm ready for and I'm setting the intention for. But what I want you guys to do is to focus on your money. I want you to focus on love. I want you to focus on positive vibes, personal healing, making your everyday life as magical as it can possibly get, and to not limit yourself and to not hold back in any way, shape, or form. The reason why this is because Neptune is falling in the sign of Pisces, and Pisces is all about intuition and internal, like your internal compass and guidance, like intuitive guidance, intuitive connection. Gemini, Sun is sitting in Gemini, Mercury sitting in Gemini. There's a lot of information that's coming through this week, and Gemini rules messages. Gemini is naturally ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the messenger of the gods. So there's a lot of information, there's a lot of messages that are getting, you know, sent back like lightning bolts, back and forth, back and forth. And I want you guys to be open and receptive. For some of you guys, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling anxiety because it can be like system overload. It can be overloading to the system and to your senses. It's like sensory overload. But what I see is a blend of information coming through in little spurts, like little intuitive voices. And that's what I said last week during the live chat. It's like almost people are hearing things. And maybe it's not that you physically hear. Sometimes it's like that, like in your subconscious, not subconscious, but that inner voice, that inner guide, the inner guru that's like giving you messages and talking to you. And you're hearing these messages. And what I think it's like you need to write them down. You need to capture them. You need to journal. You need to take notes. It's taking the ideas. It's taking the messages that are coming through and capturing them in physical. And then what you're doing is you're merging the spiritual with physical. So you're taking what is going on in the cosmos, what the universe is giving you, and then you're giving it life. You're bringing it to life. So you're manifesting it. So I definitely see that. I see people being very highly sensitive. I was saying this with some of my clients recently that I'm seeing in their chart, that they're almost becoming sensitive to certain things like caffeine or meat or sugar. So they're making lifestyle changes during this time. But listen to that. Take those things seriously, because this is only prepping you for what you need to do and what you need to have in order to thrive, in order to get more hunches, get more guidance. So that's what I see definitely for here for you guys. I'm also seeing this week your action. Remember I was saying last week, you know, as Mars moves into the sign of Aquarius, which happened early last week, this is a time to do things differently, to act differently. What's that quote when they say, you know, crazy people are the people who repeat the same thing expecting the different results? You're not a crazy person. You need to do things differently. And Mars, again, rules our action, and Mars is saying, think outside of the box. Not only think outside of the box, but act differently. If what you have done before did not produce the result that it is that you want and that it is that you're striving for and that you see for yourself, then you have to do things differently. This means releasing old patterns. This means releasing old habits. If what If you had something gold in your hands and your actions did not support it, you're going to lose it. That being said, that was a lesson. When you move forward, do things differently. You can't repeat the same, you can't have the same actions and expect a different result. That means that you are required to strike out and to venture into the unknown, and that's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to have to stand on your own 2 feet. You're going to have to, stretch your own comfort, your own comfortable, boundaries in some way. But the payoff is too great. Because for some people, they're going to say, I'm uncomfortable, Jess, or I'm scared, or, this, I don't know if I'm ready. You are ready. Because it's something that you want. And if you're not ready, or if you try and it doesn't work out, then you tried and it didn't work out. Try again and do something differently this time. So for those of you guys, and I can only tell you what it is that I see for you, ultimately it's your decision what you're going to do with it. But for those of you guys who decide to stay in the same space and to do the same thing, that's on you. You're going to get the same result. Don't come to me and tell me like, Jess, my life hasn't changed, or my life is stagnant, or I wanted this to come into my life and I was just too scared. Then that was on you. I told you what to do. I told you, what the charts were telling you, and you missed the boat. You missed the opportunity. So I'm sorry about it. Like, tough love at this point in my life when it comes to, and for those of the clients that have worked with me, you guys already know I tell you the truth all the time. But it's up to you ultimately to react. It's up to you to make the move. I can't do it for you. No one can do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. And what I see is a need to do things differently, to strike out and to be in a different space, to be in a different place mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. But that requires you to push the boundary. That requires you to get out of your comfort zone. The other thing that I see is you do not need to be afraid. There's a lot of security that is coming through, even though a lot of things are being uprooted at this time. It almost seems like what is being changed is creating structure for you. Even though as a human, we can watch, certain things changing and it doesn't seem like it's steady, there really truly is a blessing of, steady security for you as you move forward. Jupiter sitting directly opposite of the part of fortune. Part of fortune is sitting in Taurus, a sign of security and structure and high quality of life, hard work. So I just see, and then Jupiter is this main component here that's just kind of creating this positive aspect within the skies, the cosmos that is blessing you. So I want you guys to be aware of that. On the 6th, which I believe is a Wednesday, Mercury meets up with the Sun in the sign of Gemini. Now, I want to say a day before, a day of, and 2 days afterwards is where you're going to see a lot of the benefit of the 2 of these planets meeting up. But this is, for me, when I look at this, I see the potential for really interesting news to come in, for people to be quick with messages, for people to be quick with conversations that can really change the like let's say if you want to have a meeting, an important meeting, this is the day to have that meeting. If there's an important conversation that you need to have, this is the day to have that conversation. If you need to brainstorm, if you need to study, if you need to take a test, this is that day. If you need to have a presentation, this is that day. Because Gemini, Mercury falling in the sign of Gemini is at its highest. It's at its best. It's working keenly. It's working really well. And also, when Sun and Mercury meet together, this is the planets just like giving each other their best. So this is the day that you really do want to have conversations with important people, an important dialogue, brainstorm. And also, this is a moment, for some people, that could be a moment of eureka, meaning like intuitively, if you're looking for a solution, if you're looking for a message, this is when it comes to you. I say for a lot of people, get out and about. There's Venus sitting directly opposite of Pluto the same day. Venus rules relationships. Pluto rules intimacy and intensity. So I see a really strong connection of two people coming together. This is, and it's almost like instant fireworks. It's almost like instant chemistry. So if I were you, I see if this is like people going to a bonfire, if people are going to, you know, go to a river, I keep on seeing ocean. That's the biggest thing that I'm seeing is a lot of water. So maybe you go to the spa or a sauna or whatever the case is, but I see people meeting up and having really awesome connection and chemistry in this bond. And it's very intense. It's like instant soulmate sparks that get lit up. So definitely, and that's why I'm like, take the time earlier this week to set the intention and think about how good it can get. Let's say this is maybe it's not relationships or people coming together, because it's not always that. Sometimes it's work. Sometimes it's a contractual agreement or an alliance between two people, and you guys are just coming up with all of these ideas. So I've got a few awesome people that I'm working with for BehatiLife, some projects that we're working on that I'm so stoked about. It's not just one, but a few different people that I'm not going to say yet because I'm private about certain things, and I like to make sure that things are moving well first before I announce them. But you better believe that on Wednesday, Thursday, I'm going to be having some conversations, reaching out to them and be like, yo, let's sit down, let's talk, let's brainstorm, let's get this show on the road, because it's too good. This is too good. And the thing is that I want you guys to hear me, that the energy that you put in this week and last week, you may not see it right away, but it really has a lingering effect. It has an impact that will pay off. Maybe not this week, but maybe next week and the weeks to come and the months to come and for the rest of your life. So definitely visualize, manifest, set the intention, set the tone, work with your feelings, work with your vibes, get yourself out there. Don't miss this. Like I said before, Mars is all about action and doing things differently. So you have to really push outside of your comfort zone in a lot of ways, but the payoff is really great and you don't want to miss it. Again, like I was saying before, I do see this sensitivity of, people's physical bodies feeling sensitive. I want to just warn you guys, for those of you guys who have anxiety or who have allergies or are not tolerant to certain things, you really want to be careful of, not pushing your physical body, not pushing your mental self, know your boundary, but also be receptive. Our bodies are very sensitive during this time, during this week, which is a good thing because you're able to pick up and you're able to really vibe with the universe when it comes to setting intentions and working your magic and watching things kind of unfold. But at the same time, it makes you vulnerable to not overexerting yourself, but it makes you sensitive to certain areas that are like kryptonite for your physical body. So you just want to make sure that you're taking care of your physical self, that you're listening to your intuition, you're listening to what your body's trying to tell you. And I see a lot of physical, and I don't know if this is again because people are detoxing and releasing and emotional in a lot of ways. There's a lot of emotions that are going on. I'm not sure if that's what it is, but that's what it is that I'm seeing, that it's just listen to yourself and take your body signals very seriously. I don't see this as a total breakdown. I just see this as being uncomfortable. And I want you guys to feel comfortable. I want you guys to feel strong, okay? So that's what I see for you guys this week. Make sure that if you're watching this on Monday, that you tune in to Instagram Live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because I do the Astro forecast for the week ahead. And we talk about what you need to know. And if you are watching this video earlier on in this week, make sure that you revisit and watch it a second time so that you can see, oh my God, that's what Jess was talking about. Oh my God, finally that makes sense. More people get the benefit when they revisit these videos and watch it after the fact, even though I know you're excited to see it when it first comes out. But I want you guys to get the maximum benefit, and the only way to do that is to watch it twice. And I'm not saying that because I'm trying to increase my views. I want you guys to get the most out of it. All right. I have a lot in store for you for this YouTube, for BehatiLife's YouTube. So make sure that you're subscribed, and if you really need to, hit the notifications so that when a video comes up, you're the first to be notified and you can see it right away. I can't say what it is that I'm working on and what it is that I'm filming, but you'll see soon enough. But you need to definitely be subscribed to, and I highly recommend that you're subscribed so that you don't miss it, okay? We'll talk soon, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.